and welcome back to the channel. You already know who it is. It's wrong time from Wrench-a-holics, and I apologize for not making any videos. Life happened and I can't do anything about it. But today we are back in the lab and we're gonna go start it off real easy. I have a couple things I still gotta fix up in the 240. It's like minor things. It really doesn't matter for most of you guys, but for the most part, it's a mod. Well, not really a mod. You're replacing light bulbs, but it's pretty hard if you don't know how to access them. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the lights on the switches. So the flip up switch, the hazard light, you know, your defroster, and your HVAC, the HVAC, which is your climate control. If you just got your 240 and you notice that even though you turn your lights on, the lights don't illuminate, obviously you got a burnout bulb, or it could be a bigger issue. But we'll start off with the bulbs because they're super cheap. And yeah, it just looks good. For some people, they don't really care, but for most, they do. For me, I like it. You know, I don't like to have blacked out or non-illuminating light bulbs. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that today, and let's get to it. Alright, so these are the switches that we're going to change the light bulbs for. Obviously, this is the headlight switch, this is the hazard switch, and the defroster. I have a dead switch here and I forget which switch it is, but the concept is the same. Once you know how to change the bulbs out of these, you should be able to change this one. So regardless of the fact that I don't have it, if you have it, it's the same concept. But first we got to take these switches out. So in order to do so, you just need a little muscle, push down and pull out. Pretty much how you take them out. And then once you have them out, all you gotta do now is disconnect them from the harness. So pretty much usually they have a push lock. Normally I just put a flathead in here and I push and twist, and once I see this part lift up, we're halfway there. So push down and twist. There you go. So as you see, it's starting to lift, and I just rotate and remove. Alright, so this is the flip up switch. From there you can already see the bulb holder. All you got to do is rotate this a quarter turn to the left and the bulb holder should come out. It's very delicate, so you don't got to put any muscle to it. Just a quarter turn and the bulb should slip out. Alright, so Phillips screwdriver, quarter turn, and the bulb should come out. It's kind of delicate, so I like to tap this down just to see both sides of the holder. And then from there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get a needle nose plier and just grab both ends. You don't have to kill it, you don't have to smash it. It's really delicate. So, you know, once you grab both sides, pull the bulb out. Like I said, it's kind of delicate, so even any type of slight pressure, the bulb tends to sink back in. There you go. Bulb out. Alright, so there's the bulb holder. As you can see, it's kind of hard, it's really small, but there it is. You can see the wires rotating around the bulb holder itself. I'm trying to show you guys the best view. So pretty much there's two holes in the center. Once you unravel that wire, you'll be able to slip up the bulb, and then in order to replace the bulb, you insert into the two holes in the center and slowly rotate the wire around the holder on each side. Once you take it out, you'll see for yourself what I'm talking about. It's super small, so it's kind of hard to get it into the camera, into view, but this is the process. But once you have everything all lined up, reverse process, put in the bulb holder, which is the switch itself, and then rotate quarter turn to the right and lock it down. Again, you want to make sure you have contact on those gold panels right there, because that's where the power on the ground is for the light bulb. So we're gonna go ahead and just put it back together since I've already changed the light bulbs, and do that. Oh, one more thing. So The bulb holder, as you can see, it's blue on top. It's just a little cover. You can reuse that, but you got to be really careful to remove it. And then once you slip it back onto the other light bulb, it's kind of hard, but you can get it on there. Just take time. Be patient with it. Like I said, it's very small, so for you big finger people, it's kind of hard. But you can use like a tweezer or something like that to help you get it over the bulb. Or you can eliminate it and not use it. There's no harm, no foul without, without putting this cover back on. So there it is. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back together, and then we're gonna go to the HVAC. All right. So once you've done the bulb replacement, obviously, since I've already done it, all you gotta do now is put the bulb back into the holder. Make sure it's flush. Rotate quarter turn to the right. Like I said, it's a very delicate plastic, so you don't have to go crazy on it. But once you feel that resistance of the lock, you're done. Boom. So with that being said, just be very delicate with it. The plastic is super brittle. As you can see, there's already some damage here. Some guy who tried to use it before me did it. But from there, all you gotta do now is reinsert back into the harness, and you're good to go. Okay. So the only switch that's different from all your switches is your hazards. You do not see the holder of the button anywhere because the holder is actually within the button. So you have to actually take this thing apart in order to get to the bulb. So this is the defroster. You see the defroster has the bulb holders on the outside, but for the clicker switch, or the hazard I should say, the bulb is actually inside the unit, which you got to take it apart. So I'll show you how to take that apart right now. So for the hazard switch, in order to get to the bulb, again, as mentioned earlier, you have to pry the actual harness connector away from the button. There's a spring in here, so do not lose it. It's what allows you to do that. So in order to remove the harness connector from the switch itself, you have to pry it apart. You'll see these two little indentations here, and this is where the lock is for the switch that engages to the actual harness connector. So all you gotta do is get a small flat head, you lift up on the lock. Again, it's very brittle plastic, so you don't gotta go crazy on it, but you just want enough separation that it's away from the lock. And from there, you pull it apart. Push up on the switch, on the harness. Okay. There it is. Do not drop any of these pieces here. Again, all it is a slight push up. Leave everything intact. Again, you can start to see the springs here. You don't want to mess those up, because what happens is you can't put it back together. Bulb in question, that's the bulb that illuminates this switch. So there you go. All you gotta do is pop it out. Same concept. There's a bulb holder, and you twist the wires. So, but since I've already done it, all you gotta do is just lift up on that bulb, and you'll be good to go. So again, in order to put it back together, make sure everything is intact. Do not drop this. All you gotta do is push down, and you're good. Put it in the grooves. Push down. Make sure the lock engages on both sides. And then you'll be good to go. There it is. So now, once you change that bulb out, you reinsert into the harness. Obviously, you can check it to see if it works. There you go. Off. All right. So now, we're going to do the HVAC. The HVAC is a little bit more extensive, as you got to take your whole center console out. So if you don't know how to do that, you can watch my other videos. I think I do have a video on how to put the radio on, and I went through the whole process on how to take that off. But in a nutshell, first thing you got to do is remove your shift knob, and then from there you just pop out the center plastic. Be very careful. Again, the clips that clip onto the car are very old, so you don't want to just like start ripping it out, or you run the risk of breaking that plastic clip. So be very gentle, but again, you're still gonna have to use some force to take it off. So there's a fine line between brute force and being gentle on how to take it off. So, you know, it just comes with experience with how many times you work on your car. But we're gonna go ahead and start off by just, again, rotating the knob off the car and then taking out the center console cover. So there it is. Again, with here, all you gotta do is grab the inside of the center console and pull up. Okay, and then from here, support it. Don't just yank it out, because you can crack it right down the center. You're gonna want to get your hands and push towards, or pull towards you. And then you have two more up here, same thing. Get a good grip on it, pull towards you. Again, be very careful. The clips that you could possibly break are these guys right here. See how this is loose already? It's very, very brittle. So be very careful when you remove that. Oh yeah, by the way, I do sell these shift boots on my website. I'll leave the link in the descriptions. savageones.bigcartel.com. Free shipping within the US. So if you want to get yourself a new shift boot, replace your old rotten, cracked up leather one, hit me up. Alright, so we see the HVAC. HVAC, also known as climate control, held in by 4 screws. Remove the screws. The bulbs that are associated with this is you got the illumination bulbs on top, and you have the dial buttons. My dial buttons work, so I'm not going to explain how to get that. Actually, you know what? I'll help you guys out. I'll do that explanation. But yeah, first, get this unit off. So, where's my screwdriver? Basically 4 screws hold it in. Remove the screws and pull the unit out. Don't lose any of the screws, because you're going to be needing them to put it back. Alright, so to get to the dials, to switch the bulbs out for the dials, you actually have to take the whole unit out of the car. Damn, I totally forgot. Alright, I gotta take out the radio, because the locking part, or the mechanism that holds the HVAC to the car, you won't be able to slip it out. So actually, you know what, let me see if I can do it this way. Hopefully I don't break nothing. And no. So yeah, we got to do that. So first you got to actually take out the radio. We're going to drop this HVAC through this area in order to take it out. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Alright, once you get the radio out, now you're able to slip the HVAC underneath the little ledge right here and out the car. So I'm gonna see if I can just leave my radio here, because I don't want to take it off. So the HVAC will simply just slide underneath. Normally, I don't know, I think I got a lot of wires back here, so it's kind of taking up the space of what I would do. But actually, you know what, here, I can just show you guys from here. Alright, so in order to change the illuminating lights for the HVAC, the ones that light up, it's this guy here. You gotta lift this little piece up. Let's see if I can get a better view. There we go. Alright, so you lift this piece up with a flat head. The bulb holder would be right underneath it. So we lift it up. There it is. Same bulb holders as you had on your switch. You change these 2 out, and it'll help with the illumination issue of your HVAC. So pretty much what those are going to light up is the off 1, 2, 3, 4, cold and hot with the dial in the center. So with that being said, these two guys right here, I'm actually waiting for those bulbs to come in. So once I get these bulbs, I'm gonna go ahead and just replace them. But that's pretty much how you get to the bulbs. So in order to change the illumination on the dial, which is these guys, you actually have to remove the HVAC. So that requires you to remove the harness from here. There's two right there, and also you got to pry on your buttons using two flatheads. You're going to want to anchor a flathead on each side, one on the left, one on the right, and you basically want to pry this button out. Once you pry that button out and you have the unit removed, you'll flip it over and there's going to be a screw holding it together. There's one right here, so you'll be taking that off, and you'll slide this cover out. Once you slide that cover out, you'll see the illuminating buttons for these guys right here inside the unit. So I forget how those look like. I'm not going to do it just because my buttons work. It's these buttons, or these indicators that died out on this unit. So it's a little bit more extensive. But like I said, if you want to do it and get it all done at one shot, you can. But that mine works, so I'm not really too worried about it. I just want to be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4, the fan, cold and hot. So everything else is functional on this unit. A key thing here is, in order to actually remove it, besides removing the harness, there's a wire that's associated with the HVAC unit on the slider mechanism right here for the hot and the cold. And you actually have to remove that wire before this thing can get out the car. If you do forget to remove that, what's going to happen is you're going to remove the harness and you're going to try to remove the HVAC, and then you'll notice a wire with a white plastic covering that's holding you back. That wire is connected to the slider, which allows you to do hot and cold, so that hot and cold come out of your vents. It's the little wire connector that connects to the vents. So with that being said, again, I'm just waiting for the bulbs, but this is the location of the bulbs. Once you do that, you just go ahead and close it, reverse process, and put everything back together, and you'll be good to go. That's how you replace the bulbs on your HVAC for your S13. The S14 guys, it's kind of different. I'm sorry for you S14 guys who have issues with the HVAC and the buttons, but unfortunately I don't have an S14 to work on. A friend of mine does, so if I can use his car as an example, I can show you guys how to replace those light bulbs too. It's the same, it's sort of the same process, but not the same process at the same time because it's two different cars. So with that being said, for your S13 guys, that's how you do it. That's how you change the bulbs on the switches and the bulbs on the HVAC. So from there, hopefully everything works. If it doesn't, then you have bigger issues. You'll have to start tracking down wiring issues. If it's a blown out fuse, most commonly I think if you have a malfunctioning dimmer switch, which I do have it, it's just sunken in there, you'll have issues with the illumination of your bulbs. So it becomes a lot more extensive if changing the bulbs don't work. But again, it's the cheapest way to see why your bulbs don't work. Just change the bulbs out and see. But yeah, alright guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Again, I apologize for not uploading, but like I said, life happens and I can't do anything about it. But if you reach the end of the video and you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you have any comments, leave it down below. I do read it. And also support the channel, savageones.bigcartel.com. All the proceeds and all that stuff I get from there goes back to the channel for a new camera, more content, and also yeah, I just want to say thank you. And the lights, I do have the bulb number, but it's from Radio Shack. I got it a while back. I don't know if they're still open. I heard they closed down. But if you want to do some referencing, the bulb numbers for the HVAC is 272-1141, and for the switches is 272-1092. If you can do the research on it, I'm still trying to do the research on it to try to find a suitable replacement, because I don't know, there's no more Radio Shacks down here where I live, so who knows, I don't know if the business went out or whatever. But I'll leave some more information down below in the comments. But until then, that's how you guys replace it. I mean, you can go to the junkyard and get some switches, take the bulbs out and see if those work. But yeah, other than that, it's just a mini lamp. It's called a micro lamp, I believe. If you can find a micro lamp that does fit within the holder, and it fits inside the switch, man, you're good to go. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's 12 volt, you're good to go. But again, thank you guys. And as always, hype is for the moment and style is forever. Deuces.